Hey everybody out there, my name is Dragnix, and this is Ice Cream Surfer. 254 on the Steam store came out today, and it is a shoot 'em up in the style of you are an ice cream surfer, and you are trying to deal with the evil broccoli and vegetables that want to take over meals. Yep, that's pretty much it. You have 5 playable characters. I'll get into all those in a little bit, but this is a Wii U virtual port, and let's just say the reviews on it weren't exactly nice, to say the least, in terms of the regular Wii U game. Now, this is overlaid commentary, keep that in mind, but I wanted to focus on the game in question. The game in question is bad. Now, it's a shoot 'em up, and it's a very basic shoot 'em up. The thing is that in terms of the shoot 'em up genre, it doesn't do a lot different. And it doesn't do a lot, not only different, but it fails to understand some of the entertainment that the shoot 'em up genre can bring. Now, the shoot 'em up genre can be done in a variety of ways, but one of them is whether it be difficult or exciting or, you know, feeling like you're getting through situations that you probably shouldn't have gotten through. Power-ups, feeling in power. This game takes it too far. Notice how I am, like, basically covering the screen just by shooting the regular gun in question without really any kind of challenge. And that's a major problem with this game. Now, there will be difficult sections, but they feel more difficult more because of the bad design choices that were made, more than sort of any sort of real difficulty in terms of enemy layout, things like that. Honestly, it felt like this game was sort of thrown together and not a lot of design was put into it. Now, I chose this because, in particular, you know, I like the concept of shoot 'em up, ice cream, okay, so on and so forth, but just sort of that unique premise and that sort of, you know, this little style here. Now, first of all, there's an inconsistency. You're supposed to be defending this for, you know, defending against broccoli and everything like that, but here's the thing. You get things like this, you know, seal that's blowing kisses at you. Okay, that doesn't seem like it's anything problematic. And in fact, you were fighting ice cream earlier in the level, which was interesting. Now, I'm going to play as a different character here, and we finally do get a little bit of consistency. Okay, now we're actually fighting Veggies. Okay, cool. Now you notice that I can get power-ups. The power-ups are reasonable, but I want to take a look at that right there. See what happened? Now, I thought that was a power-up at first, and it is a power-up if you hit it. However, and I'm doing the super attack here just to show you guys that, some power-ups are inconsistent, like you saw there with that circle around the box. That was actually something I could run into, and I had no idea at first. I thought it was highlighting that there was a power-up there, a super power-up there, so I went towards it, and thus I died. Again, a lot of bad inconsistencies in the game, which leaves the player a little bit frustrated. Here's the thing, if your rule set isn't the same with everything going on, all your player's gonna do is really feel like, you know, there's not any sort of rule set or anything that they can rely on. And thus, they're just gonna feel frustrated when something like a death happens. Now, the visuals, at least in this section, the visuals are okay. I will note back to the first section that there is at times, a bad choice of colors in terms of against the background. There was a sort of like a kitchen mixer type of item in the first section here that really blends into the background, and that's bad when you're trying to avoid that or trying to, you know, kill that thing when it blends into the background. That's the exact opposite that you want. Now, all the gems that I'm collecting are for points. This is a score mechanic. You do have X amount of lives before you have to continue. You see on the bottom left there that I do have a power bar that's used to do the specials. I have to say the specials are very, very hit and miss. Like this guy's special doesn't do a lot in terms of sort of the oomph that you need. But like the Surfer Kid is a lot better because he does this sort of Neapolitan laser, which is actually sort of cool. I will give the game this. There are some cool design elements in this, like this monster right here with this sort of you know, veggies, hot peppers, you know, oranges for eyes kind of thing. There are some cool elements of it. I wish the graphics were a little bit, or the art was a little bit better on some of these, but honestly, it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. I do like the designs, and I do like some of the uses of the enemies in question. But the one thing that I will say about this game that ultimately makes me say, you know, don't even bother with it, is that it's not fun. I mean, it's very repetitive. I've only played about an hour and a half of it, and I'm already starting to run into the situation of, I don't want to play it anymore. I'd rather play something else. The levels, while they get a little bit more difficult, don't really introduce that much of a new mechanic. And honestly, even the base gameplay is sort of boring. There are certain enemies, like here, I know where exactly to go, but I don't need a lot of precision in order to do it. In that first boss, there's a particular with the ceiling question, you can like be right on top of it and not have to deal with any kind of damage in terms of like being afraid of taking damage because you're in a blind spot to him. I wish the power-ups also had a glow on them at times. Again, they can blend into the background. And it's this level. Okay, now, I admit I like cool interesting character designs, but this one took it a little bit too far. Like, okay, I can get the croissants, okay, the chocolate bananas, the French-wearing toast. All right, I get that. That's cool. That's actually a really clever way of doing it. French toast, I get it. But then you get things like this. Yes, those are the crackers or whatever you would want to call them, like the healthy cookies, things like that, in bikinis. Yep. Yep. Again, I don't want to say that that's, you know, wrong. I don't want to say that is, you know, they don't have the right to make that portion of it. But it's one of those things that just stands out like, why did you put that in? In particular in a kid's game? Okay, fine, whatever. But, again, the fun factor here, despite the characters having some variety, like you see here, I like this character in particular, the Sailor character. It's pretty much a play on Sailor Moon, because she always fires forward. A lot of the upgrades for powers are weird with some of the other characters, mostly because they get like, you know, back shooting powers, which in this game doesn't make a lot of whole sense. Once an enemy sort of like goes past you, there's not really any reason to engage. They don't come back. They may shoot a bullet or two at you, but by that time, you've already dealt with it. Certain power-ups give you certain melee combat abilities. You get a little flash there. I will say that when using a special attack, once in a while, I would actually die during the special attack, which I couldn't replicate, but it was on the first boss in question. And then you get things like this. Certain characters can deal with that very well because of the hitbox that they have. It seems like they all would have the same hitbox, but in fact, they don't. I found that weird. In fact, some characters are a lot better at being able to deal with that, and I realized I had to go forward when dealing with this boss in particular. Honestly, though, when it comes down to it, the game doesn't have any oomph. It doesn't have anything to stand out, and frankly, is boring. And when you're looking for a shoot-'em-up in particular, you're looking for high excitement, high energy, and unfortunately, it doesn't deliver. All right, this is Dragnix signing out. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Look at the review in the description below, and I'll see you all later. Oh, and by the way, rice balls as cats. Of course. Because, of course. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this content and want to see more of it, you may want to hit that subscribe button on the left-hand side. If you like this video and want to see more of this content, take a look at this video on the left-hand side as well. And if you missed my last video, take a look at the right-hand side. Once again, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.